don't remember. But anyway, so recently,
well, anyway,
when was it? Might have been March 1st. So our dogs have a habit of getting out, whenever they have a chance. Anytime they would go out, you know, I would go and get him, because it was mostly the older dog, JD, because we had two dogs. We had two dogs. You know where this is going already. We had JD ever since he was like maybe a couple weeks old. Basically, like, I don't exactly know where my dad found them, but somewhere where he was working nearby, there was a dog that had just given birth, and like 1 or 2 weeks later, she got hit by a car and died, and these puppies were there by themselves. I don't remember how many total, but I remember my dad brought one home, and I remember he scared me with it at first because I thought it was this fucking rat that he was like throwing in my face, because he's the type of person to do that. So sorry, it still gets to me. So basically, we raised him, had him forever. Trying to think what year it was. I know I wrote it down. I know it's somewhere. Of course. Roman. Come on, thing. I don't know what you want. Anyway. No, it's gonna bug me if I don't tell you guys what year it was. And I thought I could just log into my freaking Instagram and see it, but nope. Go to my wife's page, because she was the one who posted or said in hers. Nope, that's mine. Oh my God, come on. No, it's not. Just close Minecraft and plug it back in. I mean, close Minecraft and open it up again. I don't think you did, because the internet's working for me. Sorry about all this. Trying to see what here, because it's how they're gonna bug me. Come on. Oh my god, you never realize how much someone posts something until you gotta look for something on their page. Because me too, because I've been to my page when I'm trying to look for something. And I remember being like, oh my god. Okay, we're in March. Beginning of March. March 8th. March 7th. March 5th. March 2nd. Yeah, I knew it was I should have just said 2009. So from 2009, it was the end of 2009. Because I remember we had him around Christmas. So 2009 to 2020. So he was 11, at least. But anyway, anytime they would go out, you know, I would go get him. You know, I've chased him all the way down the street. I've chased him up the street. I've chased him 3 blocks over, 2 blocks over, everywhere. And yeah, I was mad, but I never wanted to leave him out there. I remember one time too, because my dad has a fucking bad habit of leaving the damn gate open, and let him out, and he was out front with his friends, and I was like, where's the dog? And one of his friends was like, oh, the dog went, oh, he ran out and he went that way. And I'm like, my dad's all like, why are you even gonna go get him? He'll come back. And I'm like, I don't know that, because he doesn't know the area. Like, he, like, literally, like, when we lived across the street, he, you know, he lived in the house, and then he lived outside with the other dogs, and then when my parents decided that they wanted to keep their dogs in a area, like enclosed area that they could open and let them out when they wanted, we were like, no, you know, JD, his name JD, likes to run around and be free. So, you know, he lived, I think by that time he had his daughter MJ, and he lived at my in-laws for I don't know how many years. But as soon as we moved across the street, we were like, we're bringing those dogs back. So, like a piece of dry skin or something. Ow. Scratched me. But this is going on way long. So I came back, and you know, they would always get out and all this stuff. And oh, but that one time I was telling you, I'm like, I don't know that for sure that he's gonna come back, because he doesn't know the neighborhood, he doesn't know this area. So he fast forward to this year, after many times getting him out, and then doesn't help that the fence next door is like falling apart, so they there's all kinds of holes they would get out of, and I'm fucking patching it left and right. It was on March 1st, and we had a barbecue outside. March 1st? Yeah, March 1st. We had a barbecue outside, and got interrupted by a call. But so we're having a barbecue, so they had moved the cars out so the kids could play, we'd have room, blah blah blah. So later that night, I knew that my parents were going to move stuff back in, because this is their house. So my dad, they put this trailer, and then they park both of their cars. So I was outside, and I was like, I'll keep the dogs this way so they don't accidentally get run over or run out, because that one's the worst, is having to go chase the dog in the middle of the night, or at dark, in the dark, not in the middle of the night. So basically, you know, I'm out there forever, and they're taking their sweet ass time, and then they're finally done, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'll go inside and call it a night. And literally not even, I don't even think it was 5 minutes later, you know, not, maybe it was in just a few minutes, I went inside and I went to go wash my hands. And my wife is like, your parents are at the door and I don't understand what they're saying. And I'm like, what? And, you know, I go out there because I'm like, what, you know, like, because I didn't think it was something big at first. I just thought maybe they were asking something. And I don't know if it was my mom or my dad said, and they're like, dog got hit by a car. And the only thing I heard at first was hit by a car, and I thought, oh my god, did one of these idiots that are always speeding up and down the road or doing donuts at the intersection, would someone slam into one of our cars or their cars? And then it like clicked that they had said dog, and I was like, oh my god. Like, so I ran out, and I guess my parents had like dragged him over to the side of the road, and you know, I yelled for my wife, and I said JD got hit by a car. You know, my wife ran out and sat next to him on the floor, and I was on the other side of the gate because I couldn't believe it. And he was laying there. Not, he wasn't, well, he was barely breathing. He wasn't moving like he normally does. He had blood coming out of his ears. And my wife was like, you know, he's still alive. And I don't know how many minutes or seconds passed by that he died, because my wife was feeling his heartbeat the whole time. And then so I remember she said, he's gone. And yeah, I'm you know, I partly still feel like it's my fault, because I was gonna stay out there until everything was done, until my parents were gone. And of course, my dad fucking went across the street to look for something, didn't latch the gate, the dog followed him across the street, and I don't know if the car hit him on purpose or if it didn't see him, but that apparently he was right behind my dad, and it just hit him. And I feel bad for this kid right here. Because I thought that he would have more time with JD. You know, and he's only 4. I don't think he, like, I think to an extent he knows what dying is, because, you know, he'll die in Minecraft, and people will die in movies and video games, but I don't think he necessarily got it. You know, he did see his body. He was there when we put him in the ground and buried him. And I know the next few days he would ask me, you know, he would ask me about JD, or he'd be like, where is he? And I'd have to explain, you know, he's dead. You know, when you die, you don't come back. I'm like, it's not a game. You just, when you're dead, you're dead. And I hate, like, I already have my own issues with all that. And I hate that he even had to experience something or anything close to it this early in life, because, yeah, I don't know how much he understands, but then I don't know how much he actually does, and how this might affect him at any point, because I don't remember, like, I think the first time, or the first funeral I remember, maybe I was somewhere between 6 and 8, and I think ever since then it was it's been an issue. But yeah, he would ask, and then, you know, he would tell me that he was sad, and I don't know if he was saying he was just sad because he knew we were sad. But, you know, he would tell me he was sad because our dog died. Exact words. Or he'd tell people, you know, oh, our dog died. He got hit by a car. You know, and was also time to explain to him, you know, that's why you never cross the road without an adult. That's why you never, that's why you look both ways. But yeah, he hasn't, I know sometimes he'll call MJ JD on accident, but, I don't know, I kind of, it feels kind of sick and twisted, and but like sometimes, like I'm almost glad that it happened now, because I know that if JD was around for him to get older, that he would have just taken it that much harder when it finally happened. Because you know, he barely started playing with the dogs, like, you know. But anyways, so what I did was, this is my CD tray. You can still hear the thing. And you can see right here, this is the RAM that was in my PC, and this is the old RAM from the notebooks that's kind of just there to hold it in. But what I did was I kind of just makeshift made a frame, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with that at first, but then it kind of just clicked, and I printed this picture collage that I made from Shutterfly, and it's his dog license and his collar and his dog tag. I don't know, it just came to me. It's not the prettiest, but I like it. I honestly should have painted the back, and I have to find some way of hanging this because this is not practical to sit, and yeah. I don't know what else. I really do these more often because it helps.